Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton with you on the call from Gateway High School as we hit the road for coverage of Woodland Hills basketball as they take on the Gateway Gators live here on the Roxamore Sports Network. The score currently 7-6. The Gators lead halfway through the first period. Belton Kinney bringing it up, dishes it off to Jihad Denard. Short corner shot up and good, smooth like velvet from Belton Kinney. Gateway with the ball, and it's clear that number 0, Elgin Oliver, is going to carry this team. He has 5 of their 7 points early on and has showed a nice stroke from 3. Here's a deep one from downtown, number 24 off the mark and out of bounds.
Number 12, Dylan Kane, into the Gator lineup.
So number 12, Dylan Kane, now in the game for the Gators. He comes in alongside Katana, who just missed that 3. So some full court pressure here by Gateway and results in a turnover, taking it straight to the hoop. Rolls in and out, no good. And the follow by Parks gets 2 for Gateway. They maintain their 1-point lead, 9-8, 2:01 remaining here in the first period. Jihad Denard going to try a triple. Won't go, out of bounds, back to the Gators. Now a substitution, Timothy Jenkins coming in for Woodland Hills. He's joined by the big Jeremy Thomas down in the paint. Woodland Hills man-to-man defense. Deep 3 once again. That was in a different zip code off front iron. No good. Kick out. Looked like steps. No call. And here's Oliver from 3. Air ball. And here comes a 3-on-2 for the Wolverines. And can't get anything cooking there. That's an offensive foul on Rashawn Robertson. It's going to be heading the other way back to Gateway with their 1-point lead. And now Brendan Edgar, a starter for Gateway, making his way back into the game. As Gateway not being shy from downtown, they've already hoisted up 5 shots from 3 and have only made 1 of those. The Gators working it around the perimeter, almost an entirely new lineup in there from the starters. Taking their time as we hit exactly the 1-minute mark in the first period here from the Roxamore Sports Network. We welcome everyone for joining us. Woodland Hills in the black. They're on the push once again. They have numbers, the 2-on-1 up, and Belton Kinney once again smooth with the left hand off the glass. That will give Woodland Hills the lead. Gateway looking for a high screen. Won't get it. Now they kick it back outside. Here's to the corner. He thought about the 3 but didn't have the ball. That's going to go out of bounds. Ball back to Woodland Hills. So Rashawn Robertson will bring it up after the turnover by Gateway. 15 seconds on the clock and some tight pressure by the Gators. And here comes a corner 3. That is off the mark by Deontay Williams. He just checked into the game. And now rebound Jenkins, wave off, and a foul. And that will be a foul on the ground. So no shots for the Wolverines. They'll have the baseline inbounds. Back to Williams in the corner. Jenkins to kick out. The shot at the buzzer won't go. Wouldn't have counted anyways. So that'll be the end of the first quarter. A strong showing by Woodland Hills here in the first. So we will take a quick break right here on the Roxamore Sports Network and bring you right back to the action from Gateway High School. We get ready to start the second period here from Gateway High School live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton with you on the call as the Wolverines head into the second with a 1-point lead, 10-9. And it'll be Williams inbounding the ball. Wolverines 0-3 on the season, looking for their first win, while Gateway 3-1. This is a conference matchup here in the Whippeal. These two teams, schools separated just by about 10 to 15 minutes as we are here in Monroeville at Gateway High School. Jenkins in the corner tries to take baseline, won't have it. The Wolverines, coached by Coach Matt Furjanik. He is in his second stint at this position. His last ended in 1994-1995 seasons for the Wolverines, so he's had a bit of a hiatus, but back in the coaching game for the Wolverines. And back and better than ever, trying to rally his team to their first win of the season. But to no surprise, a turnover there. They have plagued the Wolverines all year. So Gateway with it. Elgin Oliver is going to dish it off. Now they give it back to him. He has the range from 3. Passes up. Good ball movement. Here's a 3 by Germany, up and short. Rebound by Raylon Robertson. And let's see if they can get him a few touches. He started off the game strong, has 4 points. He's a bruiser down there in the post. Let's see if the Wolverines can take advantage of his size advantage. Nice kick to the corner. That is off the mark. Belton Kinney couldn't get it to go, and a rebound by Rashawn Robertson. He gets that one to go, extending the lead now to 3 for the Wolverines. And now a turnover on the side of the Gators. It's Jenkins pushing. He'll slow it down so the Wolverines can get into their offensive set. Woodland Hills coming off a loss against Fox Chapel at home for their home opener. That was on Tuesday. Pull up, jumper, dribble, and no good. Off the mark by Deontay Williams. Gateway back on offense. Good feed inside to Elgin Oliver. He went down awkwardly, but will draw the foul. So Gateway behind by 3 to Woodland Hills, and Elgin Oliver to the stripe for 2.
Oliver shooting 2.
But first, we're going to get a lane violation, so that'll eradicate one of the shots for Elgin Oliver.
Number 21.
As that was number 3, Brennan Edgar, who saw he was getting subbed out and started walking out from the paint. Can't do that, so now just 1 shot for Oliver. Chance to hit double digits here for Gateway. They have 9 points compared to 12 of the Wolverines with just under 6 minutes left. A miss on the free throw, offensive rebound, and they got it back. Nice block there by Denard. Strong take by Kyer Hainsworth. That won't go. Rebound Robertson, and he will draw a foul. He's feeling himself as he heads to the line. That's now 4 fouls on Gateway. And first trip to the free throw line for the Wolverines, where they have been pretty consistent to start out the season. Had a rough showing in their first game, but their second game against Fox Chapel shooting it extremely well for the line. Robertson splits the pair by hitting the first and missing the second, so here comes Gateway back on the offensive side. They trail by 4, 13-19, 5:30 remaining. R.J. Stevenson had it in the corner, didn't want it. Gators need to do a better job of trying to get into that defense for Wolverines. Here comes a corner 3. It's up, and that is good. Number 23, William Kromka, hitting it from the corner. Nice turnout here at Gateway High School for the first conference matchup for either of these teams. Wolverines taking their time with it, working it around the perimeter. They have Raylon Robertson right there at the foul line. See if they can get him a look and get this defense to collapse down. Instead, a cross-court pass for Williams. Kyer Hainsworth pulls a three. That is no good. Rebound Gateway, and they're looking to rush it. Elgin Oliver back to the corner. Oh, and here's going to be a wide open three for R.J. Stevenson. Bang! That's good, and a timeout by the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Some disagreement here with Coach Verjanik and his players as Gateway Gators now have the lead 15-13 as we get a timeout with 4:18 remaining in the second period. And great ball movement there by the Gateway Gators, getting themselves back into it now with a 2-point lead.
Or your phone by clicking on to tribhssn.triblog.com.
And it's good to see Keandre Bowles here at the stadium. Graduated last year from Woodland Hills. He was second in points in his career in the school history with 1,240. He also had the best performance in a single game with 43 points last year against McKeesport. And he also has the most points in a season for a senior with 693. So getting to watch some of his former teammates go against the Gators this evening is that one off the mark by Jihad Denard. Denard, a great player for this Wolverines team. He was unable to find his groove in their last game against Fox Chapel. He has 2 points here, and try and get him going early as he is a big factor for this team. He had 22 in their season opener against Knock High School. As we get another substitution for the Wolverines. It's Jeremy Thomas coming in for Raylon Robertson. Those two usually interchange. Haven't seen both of them on the court at the same time. The full court pressure once again for Gateway. Soft pressure, but just making the Wolverines think about it. They trail by 2 with 3:30 remaining here in the first half. Cross-court pass going baseline, a foul call. That's going to be on Elgin Oliver.
Gators foul, number 0, Elgin Oliver.
And the Wolverines will take it out on the baseline.
The Gators, number 1, Belton Kenny, back for Woodland Hills.
So Belton Kinney back into the game for the Wolverines. He hit his first shot of the day, hasn't taken one since. And yet another turnover for the Wolverines. And in the half-court sets is really where they've been struggling. We know they like to run and like to get out, push the pace, but once they get into those half-court sets, they're still just trying to play too fast. When the court condenses, it's always good just to run your offensive sets, be patient, and let the defense make mistakes. Elgin Oliver down in the paint. He'll take the jumper and will get fouled. And now going to the line for 2 shots, that foul on Deontay Williams. That'll be his first foul of the day after fouling out against Fox Chapel.
Oliver shooting 2.
So Elgin Oliver, the chance for 2. He misses the first one. Oliver 0 for 2, surprising from such a good shooter. Now he'll try a triple. That's good! Elgin Oliver, pure from downtown after missing 2 free throws in a row. Now here comes Jihad Denard. That's going to give it right back to Gateway on the traveling violation. Yet another turnover for the Wolverines.
Back for the Gators.
So King will check in for the Gators. They went from down 4 to up 5 just like that, all here in this second quarter of play. The score 18-13. The Gators lead. Nice look inside, high off the glass, off the mark, rebound Robertson. Felton Kinney's gonna slow it down call out the play for the Wolverines. Here comes Robertson. He had his pocket picked. And now fast on the break, Stevenson. Floater game, good. Got it to go, and way ahead is Jeremy, and he'll lose it. Had it stripped away, so back-to-back turnovers for the Wolverines. And now an offensive foul is going to send it right back. Raylon Robertson will find his way back in the game.
Gateway foul, number 24, Joe Katona.
Wolverines now trail by 7, the score 20-13. And Coach Verjanik having a word with the referee. Not sure what's going on here. And hopefully they can get this situation resolved. Still not sure on what the problem is, but Coach Verjanik is not happy about it. So either way, it's back to the Wolverines. Velton Kinney running the point. He's getting a lot more playing time than he recently has, and it's no surprise he's been one of the top players so far this season. Not exactly in scoring, but just facilitating and doing a great job on the defensive side. And now we will get a timeout called for Woodland Hills. This is going to be a full timeout. So with 1:52 remaining here in the first half, the score 20-13. The Gators of Gateway lead. We'll bring you right back to the action here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton here with you from Gateway High School. The Gators of Gateway lead 20-13 over the Woodland Hills Wolverines, but it's Raylon Robertson at the line for a pair. Robertson's going to miss that one. It'll go out of bounds. Ball stays with the Wolverines. And for the third game in a row, the Wolverines got off to a hot start, but just weren't able to carry that momentum into the second period. It's now the third straight game where that has happened for the Wolverines. So after yet another turnover by the Wolverines, ball back to Gateway. Good ball movement. Corner shot. Won't go, in and out. Rebound and a push by Williams. Velton Kinney makes a move, gets the defender to stumble. Now a kick out to the corner. That three in and out. A lid on the bucket for both teams with just a minute left in the second period. So the Gators will take their time bringing it up. They have a 7-point lead And a completely different unit on the court now, deferring from their starting lineup. Once again, no shot clocks here in men's high school basketball, so they will take their time. But first, a timeout by the Gators. It looks like they're going to want to draw up one last set here during a 30-second timeout.
Well, Travis, I tell you, Woodland Hills plans on making a difference here. They have to get some points on the board here. They've been far too long with no points on the board over these past few minutes.
Yeah, the Wolverines have really been lackluster here in the second quarter after a hot start. And the defense really hasn't been bad, only allowing 20 points here with only 47 seconds remaining in the period. But they need to get something cooking on the offensive end. Just been very inconsistent and unable to find that primary scorer. And they've been looking for it all season. There's been talks of Kyer Hainsworth, of Williams, and Velton Kinney's coming in and having an impact, and even Jihad Denard, but no one really standing out and making their name known as I am the scorer on this team, as another easy bucket for Gateway. A great time out there getting that play drawn up and working it to perfection. So the Wolverines now going to whip it around. Here comes Rashawn Robertson, strong with the right hand off the glass, gets it to go. So just 15 seconds here in the half. See what the Gators can get going. Good job by Velton Kinney, knowing that left hand is weak for the offensive player. The shot up, off the mark, and here comes the push by Robertson. He heaves it up, but that won't go. So at the end of the first half from Gateway High School, the Gators lead 22-15 over the Woodland Hills Wolverines. So a quick first half, a lot of action, but a Gators lead. So we'll take a quick break here from the Roxamore Sports Network and bring it right back for the halftime report. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roxamore halftime report. It was a fast-paced, action half, and Elgin Oliver led the way for the Gateway Gators. He got off to a hot start, hitting his first shot of the game in a three-pointer, and then it was the rest of the team that helped him out. A lot of facilitating and a lot of three-point attempts for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. They got off to a hot start once again, but slowed down in the second quarter. It was Velton Kinney who really got things started, facilitating on the offensive side and hitting some big shots. So that is the halftime report here from the Roxamore Network. We'll be right back for the second half.
Hi, welcome to Fit for Boxing Club.
Here at Fit for Boxing, you'll find a fast, fun, and effective workout where you can burn up to 1,000 calories.
Come try a free class at Fit for Boxing, where beginners are always welcome. It's fun for the whole family, people of all ages. Old or young, it doesn't matter. In addition to our trainer-led workouts, we also offer private lessons, community, fundraiser, and team building events for local companies and more.
Hi, my name's Mario. I've been a member at Fit 4 Boxing for a little over a year now. If you need to get a good workout in, come to Fit 4 Boxing, and Rich and his staff will take care of each and every one of you.
Fit for Boxing Club is located in Hampton Township, just outside of the city of Pittsburgh on William Flynn Highway. Come learn how to box and have fun. Call Fit 4 Boxing Club at 412-213-3584 or visit our website at www.fit4boxingclub.com.
Pardon me, ma'am. My Sound Wireless Delivery, the Line Edition?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of play here from Gateway High School in this WPIAL Conference matchup between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Gateway Gators. The Gators lead 22-15 to start the second half from Gateway High School. Feed inside to Raylon Robertson. Strong take. Can't get it to go, however. In and out, and a rebound for the Gators. They're pushing early. Going to give it down in the post. That's blocked from behind. The putback will go. Bernard Edgar with the 2 points. Velton Kinney once again taking the helm at that point position. He'll call out the play and let the rest of his offense set up. Looks like we now have a 2-3 zone here for the Gators. They may have seen that on the scouting report. Woodland Hills struggled supremely against the zone against Knock High School, and now Jihad Denard will get his first points of the game, and they definitely need him to get going if they want a chance of getting back into this one. After the bucket, they trail by 7 points, 24-17, here at the start of the second half. That one will be blocked out of bounds, sticking with the Gators. The Gators in white with the navy blue lettering. Woodland Hills in black with the white lettering. Thank you for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network. As that pull-up jumper is smoothed by R.J. Stevenson, gets it to go for the deuce. The Gators going to stick into that zone. They have Raylon Robertson right at the foul line. I need to see him sink just a little bit to pull up one of those bigs from down low. You always know if two men can guard you in a zone, you're in the wrong spot. So getting to where the defenders are going to be key here in the second half if the Gators are going to stick with that 2-3 zone defense. Here's Elgin Oliver with the three. That's pure from downtown. And already a quick timeout for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Now a 12-point lead for the Gators, and it's the same story we've seen early on here for the Wolverines. They get off to a hot start in the first quarter. The opposing team pulls away, and then they lose it in the second half. while we have the timeout, we'd like to remind you to check out Cager's Custom Artwork for all your logo, artwork, and design needs. Cager's Custom Artwork is the place to go. So we're coming off the timeout here by Coach Matt Furjanic for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Once again, Furjanic in his second stint of coaching for Woodland Hills. His last time at it was at 1994-1995 season. He went 24-4 that year. He's following longtime head coach Odell Miller. This is their first season without Miller since 2013. So we're going to get a blocking foul called. Gateway fans not happy about it, but that'll send Jihad Denard to the line for a pair.
Shooting 2.
Now the first shot from Denard. He has had his struggles from the free throw line, but he'll buy that one. The score now 29-18. See if Denard can get them both. Up off the front rim. Gets the friendly bounce, and now Tariq Scipio, one of the young guns here on this Woodland Hills team. He will be subbing in for Velton Kinney. Scipio gets his time on the JV team as well, but he's definitely one of those that he will outrun you if he gets the chance, a spark plug on the offensive side for the Wolverines. The ball movement supreme now for the Gators. They'll kick it back outside. Elgin Oliver has had the touch, so we'll see if he gives it another try. He hasn't been shy about his shooting early on. The Gators working it around the perimeter and have a foul called on the ground. That's going to be on Tariq Scipio. And that's an okay foul at this point. The foul's really disposable for Scipio. So now it'll be a sideline inbounds. Elgin Oliver throwing it in for the Gators. And we're going to get another foul back-to-back here on the Wolverines. Looks like that one will go on Raylon Robertson. And so now we'll go from the side to down underneath. Another inbounds for the Gators. The Gators house a 10-point lead with 5:08 remaining here in the third period. Gators struggling to get it in, almost tipped away, but William Kromka will dispose of it. Three-pointer off the mark. And now a rebound by the Wolverines, back on the run on the offensive side. With Velton Kinney out, it'll be Williams now manning the point. Strong take inside. Once again, just can't get it to go. Rebound Scipio. Let's see what he can do with it. 4 players converging on him down in the paint, and a miss way off the mark. And rebound by the Gators. And getting it inside there, Richard Stevenson gets the points. He's gotten off to a hot start here in the second half. And now the lead extended to 11 for the Gators, 31-19. Jihad Denard just has it stripped from him. Another turnover is there starting to add up for the Wolverines and have been a problem all year. That one way off the mark, off the hands of Kromka. Deontay Williams, a crafty move, but it's going to be called a carry as the turnovers are raining on them right now.
Back for the Wolverines. Along with Jeremy Thomas, number 15.
So Jeremy Thomas will check in along with Hainsworth. And also Jenkins checking in here for this defensive possession. Up to Elgin, the three, that's good again. His third three-pointer of the evening. Hand down, man down. The Wolverines got to chase him off the three-point line because that kid can stroke it. Getting it inside to Thomas, he'll kick it out. The Gators wanted to travel there on Jenkins. Let's see if they can reverse it. The Gators back to the man-to-man defense. Here's a three. Williams going to pull it up. Short air ball. Rebound Hainsworth for two.
Hainsworth for two.
The score 34-21. Gators in control here in the third period with 3:06 remaining. Elgin Oliver's been hot. Pull up, jumper, pop, drop, good. Another bucket as he is straight taking over here in the third period. Wolverines trying to answer. Nice feed inside to Thomas, but he'll have it taken away. And look to Oliver here for the heat check. Oh, they had him in the corner. That turnover, though. Jenkins on the run, going to make a step through. The bucket good.
Jenkins.
And a timeout here by Coach Matt Furjanic before the Gators could inbound it. And he's definitely going to tell his team to get a hand up on Elgin Oliver, as he has now 8 consecutive points for the Gateway Gators. So we'll get a full timeout from Gateway High School. 36-23, the Gators lead with 2:37 in the third period. We'll be right back here on the Roxamore Sports Network. .37 remaining here in the third period. Travis Newton with you on the call from the Roxamore Sports Network, and a 13-point lead for the Gators off a hot start to the second half for Elgin Oliver, showing his stroke from deep. He has 2 threes and a 2 here in this quarter. It will be the Gators with the ball coming off the layup, and timeout from Coach Matt Furjanic for the Wolverines. Good pressure defense by Hainsworth, but it'll be Gateway working it around the perimeter, and you can tell they're trying to get that shot for Oliver. Taking their time on the possession. Now going to pull a three. That's off the mark. Rebound Williams, and now the Wolverines push. Hainsworth thought about the corner three, now tries to kick it out. The length just too much from the Gators. Another turnover, and a foul by Jenkins on the run. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We will be here throughout the winter season following the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Have a lot of action next week, starting with girls basketball on the road against Uniontown. That'll be a 7:30 tip-off, and then boys basketball at home against Laurel Highlands. Once again, all of those brought to you live here on the Roxamore Sports Network. So Gateway will maintain possession after that one went out of bounds. Quincy Germany, he's been the point guard throughout the night for the Gators. Hasn't been scoring much, but then again hasn't been turning it over, and that's what you expect out of your point guard, letting the offense run through him. Now a deep heave from downtown. That'll be off front iron, and out of bounds, stays with the Gators off the hand of Velton Kinney. Elgin Oliver, the senior here for the Gators, throwing the ball in, tipped away. Oliver finds a way to get it back. Once again, great defense here by Hainsworth. Player falls to the ground and will go out of bounds, so the defensive pressure paying off for the Wolverines, but they need to get something going on offense. They trail by 13, 36-23 as we near the end of the third quarter. Just a minute 15 remaining. And back into the zone go the Gators. Raylon Robertson asking for it in the high post. Jenkins way off the mark. Now Velton Kinney, smooth once again. Call him Velvet Kinney, smooth from downtown. His second made three of the game. See if he can get cooking here to end out the third quarter. A big bucket there, gets it within 10. Quincy Germany showing the handles. Tries the step back, won't get the defender to bite. And now another deep three. He's just hoisting him away, has barely found the rim yet. Ball tipped and will go out of bounds, sticking with the Wolverines. Now RJ Stevenson checking back in for Gateway. So Woodland Hills, ball in the hands of Haynesworth. Looks like they will be content with holding with just 15 seconds here to get the last shot. Let's see if they try to get something to Velton Kinney. He's been hot here. Instead, inside to Robertson, the Robertson to Robertson connection, and he can't get it to go. 3 on the clock to Oliver. He's going to put one up at the buzzer. Just misses, so that will end the third quarter on a near buzzer beater make. That'll take us to a break. Once again, a 10-point lead for the Gateway Gators. Thank you for joining us on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Travis Newton here with the Roxamore Sports Network, reminding you to keep your eyes open every Saturday for the Roxamore Report, where I will be analyzing all the action throughout the week and allowing you, the fans, to chime in through social media. The Roxamore Sports Network, the future of sports entertainment.
Back to the Roxamore Sports Network for the final quarter of play here from Gateway High School. Gateway with a double-digit 10-point lead on the Wolverines, and it'll be the Gators' ball as we start the final period of play. Elgin Oliver, who's been the MVP of the game for the Gators, will inbound. And here we go, 8 minutes remain. In 8 minutes for the Wolverines to get back in this one, trailing by 10, almost off to a hot start, getting the turnover. But the Gators will get it back, and float game strong for Richard Stevenson once again. He gets the bucket to go. And now dropping back into that 2-3 zone will be the Gators. A lot of length down low. Let's see some active hands. But first, Velton Kinney, that's good again. The third triple of the game for Velton Kinney, as they need to start feeding him the ball more, showing the range from downtown. Wide open lane there, passed it up instead. RJ Stevenson hits the brakes. Now Quincy Germany with the take. That goes out of bounds, will stick with the Gators. WPIAL basketball here from Gateway High School. A conference matchup between the two teams. Woodland Hills and Gateway High School separated by just 10 minutes. That pass nearly intercepted. The bucket won't go. So now that is out of bounds. Ball with Woodland Hills. Velton Kinney running the point. He'll give it up to Williams, now get it back. Robertson, foul line jumper, that goes short. Rebound, Woodland Hills excited, but the bucket won't go for Rayshawn Robertson. Instead, foul on the ground. So a baseline inbound coming for Woodland Hills. Rayshawn Robertson to inbound. He has Williams back near the half-court line asking for it, but instead gets it to Velton Kinney. Haynesworth tried to make a move, gived it up quickly. Oh, good ball movement, getting it inside, but blocked is Raylon Robertson. Rejected, and now the ball back to the Gators. 9-point lead here for Gateway, 38-29, 6:20 left in the game. Elgin Oliver gets it, tries to spin, now gives it back to Stevenson. Nearly picked away. They're going to try and go hard inside. The bucket will go, but before the shot attempt, a foul on the ground. So a baseline inbounds here for the Gators. Quincy Germany taking it. Gets it to Elgin Oliver, and some miscommunication there, trying to feed it to the post, but no one there. So a rare turnover for Gateway, gives it back to the Wolverines. Let's see if they can get a look for Velton Kinney against this zone. That's what you need to do, get it to the middle. Instead, Williams a corner three. That won't go. Battle for the rebound, goes out of bounds and will stick down to the near side with the Wolverines. Inbounded into Velton Kinney, once again getting it inside. Kinney's going to hoist another one up. Oh, in and out, won't get it to go, but a rebound by Williams gets the deuce. Deontay Williams has been quiet in this game. See if he can get something going here late in the fourth. And here's a steal by Kyer Hainsworth. That defense coming clutch once again. He goes for the bucket, but will draw the foul. No good, going for two.
Well, you know what, Travis? That would have been a great opportunity to finish strong right there. This is a 7-point game now. These guys are so close to actually making this an actual real interesting game.
Yeah, the Wolverines have done a great job here in the fourth quarter. They were down and out in the second and third, but really doing a good job of clawing their way back, and they've been doing it with the defense alongside Velton Kinney, who's been hitting some great shots. So Hainsworth will hit the first of the pair, trying to convert to get this to a 5-point game. That one won't go, poked off the backboard and into the possession of R.J. Stevenson.
That's just too bad. You know, Travis, he was just so close, and there's times like that where you have to execute and finish strong.
Yeah, it is, and he really went strong to the hoop, and a three-point play would have been crucial there for Woodland Hills, but couldn't get it to go. He went up with his offhand, maybe needs to work on that a little bit more here in the offseason. But now it's going to be the Gators down into the post, trying to play some bully ball now, and a foul on the ground for Raylon Robertson.
Foul, number 12, Raylon Robertson.
You know what, Travis? I tell you what, this has a potential of being a comeback if they can just not make the minor mistakes that cause them to turn the ball over like this.
Yeah, that's certainly an option here for the Wolverines. They've played well in this fourth quarter, but the turnovers still haunt them. They had the majority of them, like I mentioned, in the second and third. But they're doing a good job of slowing down Elgin Oliver on the defensive side. And this defense by Kyer Hainsworth is like no other. The superior pressure is really getting in the heads of the Gators. As once again, we'll have a sidelines inbounds for Gateway. Elgin Oliver will be taking it in. So 4:43 remaining here in the final quarter of play. A 6-point game. The Gators lead 38-32. Taking the point is William Kromka. He's going to try to do it by himself, and it will be a blocking foul. That foul is going to be called on Robertson. So now Kromka going to the line for the pair.
Woodland Hills foul, number 5, Rayshawn Robertson. Kromka at the line.
Kromka's done a great job on the boards today for the Gateway Gators. Call him the board man as he'll hit the first. Extending the lead now to 7. At its highest, it was 12-point lead for Gateway. But the Wolverines doing a good job of chipping away here in the fourth, trying to get back into this one, and still plenty of time left with just over 4.5. Velton Kinney bringing it up. He's been crucial in this comeback for the Wolverines. He goes hard to the hoop, and being aggressive will go to the line for 2. And I talked earlier in the game, the Wolverines have been looking for that score, and Velton Kinney's putting his application in here in the third and fourth quarters.
Gator foul on Kromka. Belton Kenny at the line. Shooting two.
Belton Kinney keeps the touch, hitting the first one at the line. And a chance to bring it within 5 once again. Will do. Belton Kinney shushing the crowd behind the hoop there. And he's got the confidence here in the second half. As a basketball player, that's all you can ask for. Oh, Belton Kinney making a play again. And an absurd foul called on Kinney that looked like all ball as he went for the double team with Elgin Oliver turning his back. But instead of an easy bucket.
Well, Travis, I got to tell you, that right there is an upset. That was a very, very good defense, very clean, and I don't know what the refs were thinking on that call right there. That guy had him cold to rights.
Yeah, and the referees have been doing a great job tonight. They just obviously missed that one, and it's going to play crucial here for the Wolverines as that's in Gateway to the line in the bonus.
Yeah, I agree.
So he hit the first. We'll try the second here, and good free-throw shooting for both teams.
Timeout, Gators.
But before we play any more action here in the fourth period, we will get a 30-second timeout by Gateway High School. Woodland Hills making a good effort here on the road. Gateway High School for their first conference matchup of the season. The Woodland Hills Wolverines 0-3 on the year with losses to Knock High School, Fox Chapel. So with that, we'll take a quick break and bring it to you right back here on the Roxamore Sports Network.
Travis Newton here with the Roxamore Sports Network, reminding you to keep your eyes open every Saturday for the Roxamore Report, where I will be analyzing all the action throughout the week and allowing you, the fans, to chime in through social media. The Roxamore Sports Network, the future of sports entertainment.
Four minutes and 10 seconds left here in the fourth period, and a big bucket, the assist by Belton Kinney, and the bucket by Rayshawn Robertson, and gets the Wolverines right back in this one. 5-point game. They haven't been able to get it under 5 here in the fourth quarter. Look for a big stop and then maybe a bigger bucket on the other side. A mean crossover there. Gets Kyer Hainsworth thinking about poking at that ball again. And this one will go out of bounds. Ball to the Wolverines. There's the defensive stop. Let's see if they can convert on the offensive side. Belton Kinney, who's had his best half of the year, he'll be bringing it up. Once again, some full court pressure by the Gators. They break it. The bucket by Denard won't go. Robertson inside, almost gets it, but will go to the line for a pair.
Gator foul, number 21, Ryan Gregerson.
And you just see that aggressiveness by the Wolverines. After a lackluster third quarter, Matt Furjanic has really rallied the troops and gotten his team back into this one along with some shot making. And unfortunately, Robertson unable to hit the first free throw. So the lead stays at 5 for the Gateway Clippers with 3.5 remaining.
You know what, Travis, when I played ball, you know what we call those when I played at college at Penn State? We called those free baskets. You got to make those. You need those at times like this.
Yeah, they call them free throws for a reason. Those are about as easy as it gets. But at the high school level, you get some inconsistencies. Even at the NBA level, there's people who only shoot their free throws in the 50, 60% range. So, really, it's a mental approach. If you're missing them, you know it's in your head, and you can see that sometimes in shooters. But late in games like this, those free throws are crucial, and the Wolverines haven't been able to cash in on them. And now here's someone who will probably cash in on his, as he's been hitting everything today. And I may have jinxed him there in Elgin Oliver. I believe right now his three-point percentage is probably a notch higher than his free throw percentage.
Yeah, jinxing is right. But, yeah, you got 10 seconds to take that shot. You know, take your time. Yep. You got all the time in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Elgin Oliver will split the pair. So 42-37 here from Gateway High School. The Wolverines looking to make a push late and get their first win of the season. Jihad Denard with the SpongeBob-inspired shoes. And he's deep in the sea with that one, the bucket and the foul for Jihad Denard. And out of everyone on this Woodland Hills team, it has been Denard that has really shown struggles from the free throw line. And you've seen that look in his face that there is a lack of confidence here. Let's see if he can reel it in here and get a big one to bring this one closer. Now a 2-point game and a big 3-point play by Jihad Denard. Now just a 1-possession game.
Now it's about time, Travis. We finally have a game here.
And just like that, Elgin Oliver coming alive once again, hit that huge jumper on the baseline to bring it back to 4. Now Kyer Hainsworth will try one. Denard working inside, out of bounds, ball to the Gators. And the intensity cranking up in this game. Just like that, we were down to 2. Now a 4-point game with 2.5 left. Let's see if Woodland Hills can get another stop. Williams, with the unwise decision to go for the steal there, almost created a easy layup for the Gators, but good help defense. Here's Elgin Oliver. He's going to try that turnaround jumper. Can't buy it, but an offensive rebound by Krumka puts it up. But a walk first, so a turnover for the Gators, and brings it back to Woodland Hills in this 2-possession game, 44-40.
Now, I call that luck, Travis. We always used to say, protect, box out first, and try to get the rebound before trying to run down the court. They got lucky on that one.
Yeah, the stoppage in play, definitely unlucky. Allows Gateway to get back into their defense. Oh, great ball movement. Denard inside, takes it strong, flexes on him, gets the bucket, back to a 2-point game. 44-42. The clock ticking down. We're under 2 minutes here, and great defense once again by Kyer Hainsworth. And a timeout called by the Gators in crunch time. 1:45 remaining and a 2-point lead. That has been shoveled down from 12-point lead. So we will now take a quick break with the full timeout as things are getting tight here at Gateway High School. 44-42. We'll be right back.
Well, folks, tonight's game has been brought to you by SLG Sports Agency, where you can contact them if you actually are doing a good enough job. In sports, they will keep their eyes on you, and at the right time, you never know. You might even just get approached by one of them. But the owner of that, Lee Davis, and his partner, Alexander Gaminsky, they are doing some great things here in the northeastern and lower East Coast region of the states here. From Pittsburgh down to Atlanta, they are recruiting and helping folks get drafted to the pros. So once again, SLG Sports Entertainment is today's sponsor also for today's game.
We welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roxamore Sports Network. Crunch time from Gateway High School. 1:45 remaining and just a 2-point lead for the Gators. And, of course, they're going to try and get it to Elgin Oliver. The offense has ran through him this evening. A nice spin move to the outside. Picks up his dribble. And now recomposing the offense will be Quincy Germany. And another steal. Here comes Robertson. Going to take it up and get the bucket. We have a tie game from Gateway High School. We're all locked up, 44-44, and the defense paying crucial dividends here in the fourth quarter.
We got a game now, baby.
Everyone is on their feet as we hit the 1-minute mark from Gateway High School, a tie game. And now we're getting the 3-man lead by the Gators. Oliver, the 3, can't get it in and out. Another offensive rebound and blocked. And possession to the Gators with William Krumka, and yet another timeout called by the Gators. And these fans have got their money's worth from Gateway High School. A full timeout, 1-minute timeout, 44-44 with just 48 seconds left on the clock.
Well, you know what, Travis? I thought that was actually pretty awesome. You see how they were so confident in his ability to shoot threes that the whole entire audience got up with their hands in the air like, oh, yeah, he's going to make that, and rejected at the rim.
Yeah, the whole team anticipated him to make it. He's been making them all game, so I don't blame him. But good offensive rebound presence there by the Gateway Gators. They got themselves a few more chances, and then they also got it out of the paint for a chance to call a timeout. But how about that defense and the steal by Kyer Hainsworth on the opposite side, then dishing it to Robertson to tie this one up. I cannot emphasize enough how important Kyer Hainsworth's defense has been in this game. He has really kept him in it at this point. Him and Velton Kinney have been the saviors for the Wolverines here in the second half. If they have come back from a 12-point deficit to tie it up with 48.3 remaining. So it will be the Gators of Gateway inbounding the ball. Elgin Baylor has been the inbounder all night, and he's going to stick with that, probably the most sure-handed player on this team. They look to take it to the backcourt, but won't. So the entire starting lineup in now for the Gateway Gators in crunch time, and it looks like they may hold it and just try and get the last shot here, working down the clock at 35 seconds. Kropka's going to take the mid-range jumper. That goes in and out. And on the ground, who will get it? Velton Kinney! Velton Kinney with the late game heroics gets the turnover, calls the timeout, and his game face is on right now. Woodland Hills a chance to win the game with 25.4 remaining in a tie game. While we are at the timeout break, make sure you take advantage of the Roxamore Sports Network social media links. You can follow us on YouTube to watch the action. And don't forget about Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All just search Roxamore Sports for up-to-the-minute news and information here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'd like to thank all of our viewers this evening for tuning in. If you're at home, you're catching a good one here at Gateway High School. We have a tie ball game, 44-44 with just 25 seconds and some late game heroics by Velton Kinney and Kyer Hainsworth have really kept the Wolverines in this one. Now they have a chance to win it with 25 seconds remaining.
Also, folks, today's game's been brought to you by Cager's Customs Artwork. Go to them for all your logos, artworks, and designs.
So here we go. You're watching live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Fourth quarter, 25 seconds, tie game, and Woodland Hills with the ball. You can feel the energy here in the gym from Gateway High School. And what do you know? Velton Kinney has the ball. He'll dish it off to Williams, taking his time. Now down to 15 ticks on the clock. Wolverines will hold for the last shot. Hainsworth, the Kinney, it's up, and it's short. No good. The ball up. Oh, Raylon Robertson. Rayshawn Robertson had the chance. Rayshawn Robertson had the chance for the win off the miss by Velton Kinney. Couldn't get it to go, and we're going to overtime here from Gateway Area High School.
You know what? I got to tell you, Trevor, this is awesome. That was a nail-biting, jaw-dropping moment there. The Woodland Hills had two great opportunities at the basket there and just could not finish. We go to overtime for the first time this season.
Yeah, you're right, Leon. Two great looks for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. We had first Velton Kinney with the wide-open three. That fell a little bit short and created a long rebound for Rayshawn Robertson. He may have had a little contact going to the hoop, but just couldn't get the finish off the glass. It would have been a heck of an ending here for the Wolverines. But Coach Verjanik has to be so proud of this young team, the way they have clawed their way back into the game. And they've done it with defense, and they've done it with avoiding turnovers, just showing how good this team can be if they just don't turn the ball over. It's been their Achilles heel all season. And here in the fourth quarter, they only have one or two turnovers. And look at the results, a tie game after being down 12 against the Gateway High School Gators. So overtime rules here in Pennsylvania high school basketball. We're going to put 4 minutes on the clock. And whoever has the most points after this period will be victorious. The players on their feet, the student section on their feet behind the hoop here for Gateway. And we have overtime, tipped by Denard. Belton Kinney, great hustle to keep it from going out of bounds, saves it. And now back to action, Wolverines with the ball, tie game 44-44 in the first overtime period. Kyer Hainsworth, floater game, can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Robertson. He pushes his way through, flexes the muscle, and gets the deuce. 46-44, Woodland Hills leads. And this is their first lead of the game for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. What a story it's been. Now trying to answer back, Gateway, who has been cold, but a strong take by Richard Stevenson. He evens it back up at 46. Williams trying to get something going. He'll think about the three, now kick it back to Hainsworth. Back and forth passing, good patience by the Wolverines. And we've seen that now in the half-court set here in this half. They've really slowed it down. And Robertson coming in clutch once again. The tough layup extends the lead to 2 once again for the Wolverines. And we're going back and forth here from Gateway High School. Strong defense up top by Hainsworth. Gets him to pass it away. Going inside once again. Force that one. Ball tied up. Who will have it? It's going to stick with the Gators. So a jump ball will keep it down on the far side of the gym here with the Gateway Gators. They trail now by 2 to Woodland Hills as the Wolverines are looking for their first win of the season, coming into this one with an 0-3 record. Meanwhile, the Gators 2-1. RJ Stevenson trying to make a move on Belton Kinney. He'll be called with a foul. And in this overtime period, we're going to the foul line with the double bonus. RJ Stevenson to the line for 2 and a chance to tie this one back up. Pure on the first shot, gets it to go. Now a 1-point lead for the Wolverines. 2:24 remaining in this first overtime period. Stevenson cold-blooded from the line, buys them both, and we're tied up once again here at Gateway High School. Belton Kinney's going to slow it down once again, working it around the perimeter for the Wolverines. Deontay Williams, hot potato. They now get it to Kyer Hainsworth. And Woodland Hills just taking their time, working it around the perimeter, getting the defenders to move. A near turnover, now inside to Robertson once again. He didn't like his look, kicked it out. Kyer Hainsworth, pull-up jumper, good.
So, Travis, if you notice what they're doing there, that's an old school trick where you just move the ball and make their defense run to guard and defend the ball, which makes them extremely tired. Eventually wind up getting you that open shot.
Oh, and a clutch 3 by Richard Stevenson in the corner. That gives his team the lead. Back and forth action. And a clutch shot by RJ Stevenson. He scored every point here in this overtime period. Deontay Williams will now take a chance. That one's way off the mark. He's hearing it from the student section. And now a foul called will send the Gators back to the line and a chance to make this a 3-point game.
Number 0, Deontay Williams.
You can't write a script like this from Gateway High School in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. It'll be Quincy, Germany to the line for 2.
I tell you what, Travis, that was a real greedy shot by the Wolverines there. He didn't need to take that shot. He should have been a little bit more patient.
Greedy indeed. Deontay Williams thought he had a good look, but the way the Wolverines have been going, they've been working that Gators team, making a move, and luckily unable to convert there. So a 2-point lead for the Gateway Gators. The 1-minute mark in overtime. and the Wolverines need a shot. Kyer Hainsworth gets it to Velton Kinney. Back inside. Hainsworth pulling from 3 off back iron, and a strong rebound by the Gators. Wolverines need to foul and will. And that's not the person you want to send to the line. RJ Stevenson will get a pair with 42.5 remaining in the overtime period.
Stevenson shooting 2.
So Stevenson a chance to make this a 2-possession game if he hits them both. First one up and good. Stevenson remaining pure from the free throw line, even hitting that crucial 3-pointer here just a few minutes ago in the overtime period. 2 for 2 from the line, and now a 4-point lead for the Gateway Gators. And now a timeout by Coach Verjanik, unhappy with his team in this overtime period, but he will call the full timeout. 38.1 remaining on the clock, and the Gateway Gators a 4-point, 2-possession lead. We'll bring you right back to the action here in the overtime period from the Roxamore Sports Network.
Today's game's been brought to you by Cagers Customs Artwork. Go to them for all your logos, artwork, and designs. That is the place you want to go. Cliff Cagers Customs Artwork, as he does a lot of work for us and some of those folks that we know and do business with. I guarantee you, if you go and see him, folks, you will always be satisfied with everything that he produces for you on behalf of your company or your product. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, download our app, and also continue to visit our website at roxamoresports.com. And once again, folks, we want to thank you for joining us here live on the Roxamore Sports Network as we continue to bring you overtime coverage here at Gateway High School.
We welcome you back to Gateway High School. Woodland Hills Wolverines in dire need of a bucket. They trail by 4 with just 30 seconds remaining here in the overtime period, and a costly turnover. Jihad Denard was expecting Deontay Williams on the foul line extended spot. Won't get it, and now the Wolverines will have to foul as they get it into RJ Stevenson, who's been perfect from the line. Stevenson dribbling down the sideline and will draw the foul, heading to the line for 2.
Wolverine foul.
You know, Travis, they had an opportunity down there, the Wolverines, but, you know, it would have been perfect if he would have been over there in the spot where he needed him to be. That would have been a great opportunity for a 3-pointer.
Yeah, Deontay Williams would have had a wide open look if he would have been there, but he went for the back cut instead, and against his zone defense, there's really no need for a back cut. You're just cutting into another defender. Now, against man, I would understand trying to get the defender overplaying, but against his own, there's just going to replace with another defender. So he'd be better off staying on the perimeter. Once again, Steven hits them both. Now a 6-point lead, and the Wolverines need a 3. Kyer Hainsworth jacks one up, and a rebound, but out of bounds is Gateway. So it'll stick with the Wolverines with 15 seconds left in overtime.
Only way they getting back in this game if they had Stephen Curry in that lineup, and I don't see him out there on the court.
No Stephen Curry, but Belton Kinney good from 3, and now a quick foul, back to a 3-point game. Belton Kinney playing out of his mind here at Gateway High School.
I retract my last statement, Travis. I take that back. I take that back.
0, Williams.
Belton Kinney took a look at you, said, we don't need Steph Curry. We got Belton Kinney on the floor, as he was good from 3-point range. So that sends Quincy Germany back to the line. He was 1 for 2 on his last attempts and remains cold-blooded there, getting the first back to a 4-point game. Germany pulls it again. Now a 5-point lead, and that will just about do it here The Gateway Gators with the shot going up by Hainsworth. Won't go, didn't matter anyways. And a big win on their home court in overtime for the Gateway Gators and their first conference matchup of the season. They will get the win 58-53. Regulation wasn't enough here for both teams as Woodland Hills trailed through most of the game, but had a clutch fourth quarter to tie it up. Had a chance to win at the buzzer, couldn't get it to go on the layup attempt by Robertson, and they will lose in overtime. The final score, 58-53. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening here on the Roxamore Sports Network, getting to tune in for the action. We're going to head back on the road. We'll be back in action on Monday for Woodland Hills girls basketball. So we'll take a quick break as we try to get an interview here with the coach for the Gateway Gators. We'll be right back.
Travis Newton here with the Roxamore Sports Network, reminding you to keep your eyes open every Saturday for the Roxamore Report, where I will be analyzing all the action throughout the week and allowing you, the fans, to chime in through social media. The Roxamore Sports Network, the future of sports entertainment.
Welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton here with Ron Coursey, Athletic Director for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Mr. Coursey, what a game.
It was a heck of a game. I'm really proud of our kids because they battled, they didn't quit, and even through the overtime when they started to get discouraged, they battled back. So we have nothing to hold our heads down with. I'm very proud of the effort they put forth tonight.
Yeah, and the battle was a big factor on it. It seemed like in the third quarter, a lot of heads were down, seemed like they were out of it. But then Velton Kinney, out of nowhere, came and started hitting some big shots. What can you tell me about Velton Kinney? Because he just seems like an amazing kid and even better teammate.
Absolutely. Well, Velton Kinney is a kid that is, anyone who knows him will tell you he's a class clown. He likes to joke, he likes to play, but he's a great basketball player. He worked a lot over the summer on his jump shot, on his ball handling, and I think it showed tonight. I think he, moving forward for the rest of the season, can be a go-to scorer for this team. So I'm very, very proud of Velton and the work he put in.
And unfortunately, the Wolverines unable to get a win. They now fall to 0-4. What do you see they need to do in order to build and start putting some games together here, especially in a tough conference in the WPIAL?
Understood. Well, I mean, yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. We play in one of the toughest sections in the WPIAL. It's, no night is a night off, so to speak. So I think they're doing what they need to do. I think just keep working, keep learning and practice, keep growing together as a team. I think the biggest thing is they just can't become discouraged. Yes, they're 0-4, but it's early in the season. I think if they continue to work hard and practice, every game has been a progression. Every game has gotten better, and I think a win is coming next week. In fact, I'm predicting a win next Tuesday.
All right, you heard it here from the athletic director, Mr. Ron Coursey. Mr. Coursey, thank you for joining us. And for the fans of the Roxamore Sports Network, we will be back in action Monday night for women's basketball here live on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll see you there.